If you want to be seen as powerful, respected, and confident, your words have to match your ambition. I've spent years working under executives, becoming one myself, and learning from the most respected people in the room. These are the 5 communication skills that separate those who get listened to from those who get overlooked. Skill 1 is a hard one. You have to stop speaking to be liked and instead speak to lead. In our company today, we have over 250 team members, and so I get to see day in and day out people who exude confidence and act like leaders versus people who accidentally erode their own credibility. And they do this in the simplest of ways. The mindset shift that the people who are successful have is I am a leader, even if they aren't yet. The mindset that people have versus the mindset of I am in somebody else's environment and therefore I have to be less than or smaller or less certain. When you are less certain in your communication, it shows. So in order to be more certain, you can do a handful of things to switch up the way that you speak. One of the most important things that you can do is actually mean what you say and only say things that you are certain of. CEOs, leaders, top executives, they have a point of view. They see themselves, they see their life experiences, and they use where they're at in order to frame what their point of view truly is. And they're confident in that frame. If you want to be able to be more certain in your communication, remember that your point of view is important and you are there for a reason. Now, the simple language tweaks on this are as follows. Qualifying your statements by saying I think or I feel reduces your credibility. Just say what you think or say how you feel. It's obvious through the communication that you are thinking or you are feeling something, but those qualifiers make it seem like you are uncertain. So consciously practice making these language swaps. So instead of saying, I think we should try this, instead say, the best path forward is another example. Instead of saying, I feel like this might work, say, here's a strategy that will get us this result. It is this simple switch, but removing you from the conversation and just stating what you see, how you see it, instantly increases your credibility. Next is number 2, which is that your emotions are making you sound reactive and unsure. We have a saying around here, high emotion, low intelligence. Have you ever noticed the people who are wildly emotional, always talking about what's wrong and being outrageously creative in their storytelling, very rarely have a lot of success around them? They don't have people who are winning around them. They don't have successful business relationships. They don't even have successful businesses, because the more you use emotion, the less you're using logic. Emotion just clouds your decision-making ability, and effective leaders are spectacular. They are gangsters at being able to take a situation, remove emotion, and be able to logically make decisions very quickly. And they trust their decision-making process. The only way you know you can trust your decision-making process is if you have your own internal confidence that you're not being swayed by something based off of the emotion that you have. You're actually being swayed based off of logic, based off of data. Just this week, I had somebody pop off on me and had this whole emotional outburst. It was embarrassing, and it instantly reduced my confidence in this person. Their inability to feel something, to experience something, to have there be a form of rejection in front of them, and be able to handle that with grace, understanding, questions, allowed me to see this person through a very new lens. And that new lens is they make decisions based off of their emotion. And as I looked a little bit further into this, I actually started to see how there was a lack of success in a variety of different areas, which is a key indicator that emotion is used in all sorts of conversations. And instead of creating confidence, it actually erodes people's confidence, which means you cannot be successful, because without other people, as a leader, you're not successful. You actually cannot, by definition, be a leader if other people don't trust and actually follow you. So never let your emotions override your message. One of the visuals I use to help me during emotional situations is I imagine myself being a blade of grass. Follow me on this one. If you have a blade of grass that is horizontal and there is a rock that falls through the blade of grass, the blade of grass isn't going to stay hardened. It's actually going to move with the pressure. It's going to move with the rock, and then it's going to bounce back up to its original shape. Versus if you had a toothpick there. A toothpick, when a rock goes right through it, is going to rake. It's very rigid, it's hard, and it's frail. So in situations, instead of thinking of yourself as somebody who's going to make their point and who's going to prove somebody wrong and get hardened like a toothpick,